lost our audio there with Ashish Mehrishi. We'll try and fix that. But right now, what we can tell you is that 4 hours of questioning has already been over for Rahul Gandhi today, and yesterday he was questioned in the first half and then in the second half again, almost amounting to 8.5 hours of questioning, and then the statement that was rectified by him, as we are learning through sources, that is what Ashish Mehrishi points out, which took quite a bit of time, about 3 hours to fix that as well. And the statement is being typed. Rahul Gandhi is signing on each page instead of writing down the statements. That's what ED sources are pointing out. Let me go across now to our guest, Ashutosh Srivastav. He's a lawyer in the Supreme Court, is joining us here on the show. And Vivek Srivastav, political analyst, is also with us here. I want to first go across to Ashutosh Srivastav. Ashutosh, is this a standard procedure that the statement is typed out or written down, it is signed and kept, because this is admissible in court, as our correspondent is pointing out? So does the person who's being questioned get the time, enough time to go through their statement, if they want to, over and over again, to be able to make changes in it?
Yes, this is the standard procedure. Obviously, if anybody has been called for statement, and the Enforcement Directorate, as per Section 50 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, has the powers to summon and call anybody who has been alleged to have committed any sort of money laundering. And that person can come as per the summon and can give the statement. And based on what the person or the person summoned has explained, if that person feels that there are certain changes or amendments to be made in the statement what the person has made, if he feels that it is not as per what he has stated, he can make the changes, and the concerned authority may consider it at that time, and accordingly that will be prepared, typed, and the signatures of the person making the statement can be taken for records, and the same will be produced before the court at the time of submission of the charge sheet, or as the case may be. Now, as we know that this entire issue is based on one petition which was filed by Mr. Subramaniam Swamy before the magistrate court. And this magistrate court, after taking the cognizance of the matter, had issued notice, and accordingly the entire investigation was set into motion. And I think this matter was already argued before the High Court and also the Supreme Court, but giving certain reliefs only, but the investigation was continued, and accordingly the ED summoned, and today the statement has been taken. The ED may further, looking at further documentations or the witnesses or some important aspects of the case, may call for further statement if it is required in future.
All right.
So whatever is being done, it is as per the standard procedure being followed by any investigating agency.
Okay. Ashutosh Srivastav, stay with us. Let me quickly also bring in Vivek Srivastav to give us some perspective on how this is likely to play out politically. Vivek, today and yesterday as well, we saw the Congress workers and leaders out on the streets. Now, this is a critical time for the opposition as well, because the presidential elections are around the corner. They need to be investing some amount of energy in being able to, if at all, counter the NDA candidate. Do you think that this is an interesting timing where the opposition has been thrown off guard with this summon?
Absolutely. I will not say we have been caught off guard. I'll say it's a conspiracy.
All right, we seem to have lost our link there with Vivek Srivastav. We'll try and reconnect that link. All right, Vivek Srivastav, go ahead.
Yeah, so the timings of the summons are very much questionable, okay? And definitely it is over there with so much of unrest happening across the nation after the statements by one of the BJP spokespersons. The government is trying to divert. That is the way we are seeing it. You know, already this has been going on for a long time. And if you study the case and the technicalities of the case, it's an open and a shut case. the National Herald, which is of prime importance to the whole country, because it was one of the mouthpieces at the time of fighting the Britishers before 1947. And Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the Prime Minister, resigned from his position in National Herald in 1947. And in 1963, when the Silver Jubilee of National Herald was held, he even said that National Herald, which was the leading daily of the time, needs to be much more neutral. So it is a very respected newspaper which came into very heavy losses. There was a very heavy loan onto it, and the holding company AJL was in heavy debts. So to bail it out, just because of patriotic reasons, people clubbed together, people invested, and they floated this Young India. It's a non-profit company, and no dividends have been paid by that company to any of the shareholders. It is just an investment so that the National Herald is bailed out. That was the intentions behind it. But it has been taken in a very vindictive kind of a way by the government. They are trying to divert the attention of the people. There are stories happening, and the ED is very much motivated. I think the ED is being misused by the present government. I mean, I was on some channels yesterday, and I said Hardik Patel has joined the BJP. What about all the pending cases against him? And we know what is going to happen. It's all going to be brought off. Everything is going to be called off. So that is what happens. You join the BJP and you're innocent.
Okay, so a big charge that is also being leveled, as you pointed out, against the Enforcement Directorate. The Congress party also saying that central agencies are being misused with an idea of political vendetta against opposition leaders. All right, we're getting some visuals now. We'll quickly run you through those pictures, and then I'll go back to Ashutosh Srivastav. These are pictures coming in of Priyanka Gandhi. I believe that she's just visited Rahul Gandhi and is making her way out. Rahul Gandhi has been given a break for lunch by the Enforcement Directorate that has been questioning him since yesterday. Yesterday, there was an 8.5-hour long quizzing of Rahul Gandhi, after which, in fact, he got his statement typed out. He went over it and made some changes to the statement. Today, again, the questioning has taken place for about 4 hours this morning. He was given that lunch break where he went home today instead of Sir Gangaram Hospital, where he went yesterday to check on his mother. And now we're getting these pictures wherein his sister Priyanka Gandhi visited him during that lunch break that he's got from the Enforcement Directorate. From what we are picking up, and as Ashish Mehrishi has been getting details from his sources, we are expecting the questioning of Rahul Gandhi to restart around 4:30 p.m. in about 25 minutes from now. He was given approximately a 1-hour break by the Enforcement Directorate. Ashish Mehrishi also pointing out that his sources in the Enforcement Directorate are suggesting that today is going to be again a long day for Rahul Gandhi. Let me go back to Ashutosh Srivastav. Ashutosh, I want to understand from you how this questioning is done by the Enforcement Directorate or any investigating agencies. In this case, of course, one that deals with cases like money laundering. Yesterday, 8.5 hours of questioning, after which a statement was typed out. We are hearing about a 50-page statement. Then what is it that he is being questioned on? That is, Rahul Gandhi is being questioned on today, if the statement has already been put in ink?
No, see, as per the development
All right,
of the
Ashutosh,
case,
just hold on to your thoughts there. I'm afraid I'll have to cut that short.